Welcome to episode 494, Howard Shows 9 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 494, lesson 1 to lesson 5. This is an outline of episode 494, lesson 6 to lesson 9. Lesson number 1, he created an industry out of nothing.
There is a bit of a Starbucks blowback.
Sure.
Rolling into town, crushing the life out of the mom and pop coffee shop.
Yeah. We are so different, and when people understand that, they welcome us. For example, first off, we created an industry that did not exist. And in our wake, the momentum of Starbucks, so many local and regional companies and mom and pops have not only surfaced, but succeeded.
Lesson number 2, love at first sight. In 1981, when he walked into a Starbucks in Seattle, Starbucks was already 10 years old then.
On the mountains, I walked into the Pike Place Market where we are today. I walked into this store.
He was greeted at Starbucks with a free sample that would change his life.
And I walked in here and I had a French press of Indonesian coffee from Sumatra. And I said, what is this? And it felt like, and it smelled like, and it tasted like a big burgundy wine. And I wanted to learn more. And I just couldn't get out of my system.
That's good. Very good.
And I just said, God, this is something I've been looking for my whole professional life.
Howard lobbied Starbucks founders for a place in the company. It would take nearly a year for him to convince them to hire him.
Lesson number 3, a trip to Milan. This is where the idea of a coffee bar was born.
As vice president of sales for Starbucks, Howard Schultz went to the Milan Houseware Show in 1983 to look at coffee makers. It was his first trip to Italy, and on its streets, he fell in love with the theater and romance of the Italian coffee bar. He was struck by an idea that seems obvious in retrospect, but hit him at the time with the force of St. Paul's revelation on the way to Damascus. Starbucks should sell not just coffee beans, but coffee drinks.
I saw something, not only the romance of coffee, but really what it was the sense of community and the connection that people had to coffee, the place, and one another.
Lesson number 4, Seafaring on day 1.
Also came up with the company's ubiquitous mermaid logo.
The mermaid is part of the seafaring heritage of coffee coming to America, and it comes by boat. It's really a two-tailed siren that's been reshaped over the years.
The original mermaid icon survives only at the original Starbucks. Over the years, her...
Lesson number 5, Starbucks is 80% copycat and 20% original. The Italian coffee bar, the French latte, they're all copied from Europe. The original is the third home, which I will cover in lesson 9 here. Lesson number 6, a lot of hype and marketing. Instead of small coffee, he called it a tall coffee.
How did he do it? With marketing and salesmanship and even, he admits, a little hype.
But please tell America and the rest of the world why the small drink is called a tall.
Well, I think, when you walk into a store, you don't want to say, give me a small. You want to say, give me a tall. And so there's a little bit of marketing in there.
Lesson number 7, how to fight adversity with growth.
Have led to a dilution of the experience and a loss of the romance and theater of Starbucks, opening the door to competitors. This must be eradicated.
There'll be more stores in the next year that'll be very, very different, but much more exciting and obviously much more relevant than the stores we built 10 years ago. Starbucks' best days, I truly believe, are in front of us. We have some of the finest people in the world.
Lesson number 8, the American dream. He was a poor kid growing up in public housing with very little resources.
You ever doubt it?
Oh, I doubted it at moments where we had significant challenges. I grew up as a poor kid in Brooklyn. I had no money, I had no resources, just a dream. And I think it speaks to the American entrepreneurial spirit that a young kid from public housing, the promise of America and the American dream was available to me.
Lesson number 9, the third place. The first place is home. The second place is work. The third place is Starbucks. Special thanks to King Solomon, who gave me this lesson.
One of our colleagues coined a phrase a long time ago and said, "We're not in the business of filling bellies. We're in the business of filling souls."
But this is a company. This is a corporation.
Okay,
Come on.
it is a corporation.
You're blowing smoke now.
No, I mean, this is how we feel. You might say, okay, they're full of crap and you know, this is how we feel. We're in the business of human connection and humanity, creating communities in a third place between home and work.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your comments and questions below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.